Welcome back, and if you're new, I'm Jen and I like to grow a lot in a small space. Today we're going to be doing blueberries in containers to put around my deck. To start off with, I have this blueberry here in my flower bed. That needs to come out. If you want to see me potting it, go to 228. For now, we're going to take it out, do some garden maintenance, and plant a few perennials. I have this Firefly Peach Sky Yarrow. I'm going to put that in where the blueberry came out. I'll spare you watching me struggle to get the blueberry out, and we'll skip straight to where there's the hole. Here's the blueberry that I took out. It's about 2 years old. I've gotten some blueberries off of it. It's called Blue Gold Blueberry Bush. Here I'll skip to me putting the yarrow in. It pretty much fit in the blueberry hole perfectly. Now you're going to see me step over here in the corner and reach down and pull out what looks like a weed, but it has flower on it. It's not a weed. It's an evening primrose, and I seriously call this thing the Godzilla plant. I cannot get rid of it. It's everywhere. I planted it last year. I thought it was really pretty. Had no idea it was so invasive, and now it's everywhere. You see all of this? This is all from like underground roots that are popping up. Now I did plant a few seeds in here, and so some of that I'm trying to go around, but most of that is all this evening primrose. I can't stand it. I potted some up for my mom because she is going to take it and put it in a spot where she wants it to grow wild. But I cannot take this plant, and if you know how to get rid of it, let me know. Now we're going to skip over to this perennial I wanted to put in. It's an Oriental poppy. I didn't realize that poppies were perennials. I have some of the ones that you plant every year from seed, like California and breadseed poppies. But I didn't realize this one's a perennial. Anyways, I'm going to take it out. I think there were two in here. If I can separate them, I will. If not, I'm just going to plant them together. I'm going to put them over here in this spot. You can see me pointing out a little place I want to put them. My aesthetic that I'm going for is more of like a curated cottage garden where everything is neat and clean and tidy, yet there's all different kinds of things blooming all the time. I used to have a really neat and clean garden where everything was symmetrical, and I like that aesthetic, but I don't know, I'm leaning more towards one where it's all sort of whimsical and blooming and there's a lot of different things. Alright, now onto the blueberry potting. You can see me putting all the pots in the little, what I call pot graveyard. Anyways, I grabbed a pot that I got at Tractor Supply, and I have some soil acidifier because blueberries like acidic soil, which is part of the reason I'm moving them to pots. That way I can control their soil. The other reason is just they were tucked in the flower bed and they were hard to get to. So this will just help make them easily accessible. So I take the soil acidifier and I'm going to pour it into the dirt. You should use the package instructions, but I've kind of decided gardening's a little bit like cooking, and you don't need exact recipes. It's not like baking. Baking you need exact, cooking you don't, and that's sort of how I treat gardening. So I just poured some in. I'm going to pour a little bit more in right before I plant it. I'm going to try to rough up the roots a little bit. Here I'm just kind of trying to break them up so that they can kind of filter out and create new ones. I am trying to take off, this stick was dead. It wasn't even attached to the plant anymore, and then I struggled for a second because it was stuck in the tag. I was going to remove the tag, but it's lasted there for 2 years, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm going in my greenhouse to get some dirt that I had left over from a Mother's Day project. I have a bunch of soil in my greenhouse that I usually use, but since I had some potting soil, I figured why not put it in there? It might feed them a little bit longer too. So I'm just going to add some of that in all the way around it. I'm going to speed this part up even more because it's a little boring. I'm just adding some soil. Then I get some soil from my greenhouse. I'm just going to top it off with that. Nothing crazy, just putting the soil in there. I'm going all the way up to the rim. Then when I'm finished, I'm going to take it over to my deck. It might not be its final spot, but that's where it's going for now. Now this area is my fruit tree area. I have some figs, I have some raspberries, but at one point I had tucked a blueberry in here, and it just does not get any sun, so it's got to come out. I don't remember when I put it in here. I don't even remember what kind of blueberry it is, but I am going to try to pull it out without hurting some other stuff. I have some dahlias tucked around the front so that they bloom, and then I have the fruit behind it, and it's really pretty. Anyways, so here's the blueberry coming out. I'm going to pot it up the exact same way I did the other one. I'm going to use some soil acidifier. I actually ran out. Had to run to Home Depot and get some more later. But just going to pot that up exactly the same way. Put some dirt around it. Same thing. So we'll speed you through this process. Again, I'm using some of the leftover garden soil I have, and then I'm going into my greenhouse, grabbing some dirt, using that. And that's pretty much it. You can see over here I added the yarrow. I actually added an aster right in front of it. I will mulch eventually, but I didn't do it yet because I had some new things growing. So here's the blueberries that I have. This one was on sale at Home Depot. It was half off. I figured I'd give it a home. It didn't really have an actual name to it. This one is a pink icing blueberry. And I have something sad to tell you. Pink blueberries don't actually mean the blueberries are pink. It just means the foliage is a little bit pink. And yes, that makes me slightly sad. Anyways, here's where I put two, and then here's the other two. I think I zoom in here. This is the one that I had tucked in by my fig tree. I'm not sure how old it is or what it is, but it's growing some blueberries, and I think out here with more sun, it'll do even better. Then this one is the one I pulled out of the flower bed. It's nice and big, has some nice and big blueberries on it. The only thing I'm worried about putting them there is the birds, but we'll see if I need some netting for that. Then in this section, I'm giving my husband a project because I need some kind of arbor or trellis here. I have some grapes that I wanted to plant. I want to try to grow all the fruits because here I am trying to grow everything in my backyard. So I have some green grapes, I have some purpley black grapes, and I've never grown grapes before. I think it's fairly easy, so we'll see how they do. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully you'll come back for some more garden maintenance and fun projects and such. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!